Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher of Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 22nd FlossTube video. And again, thank you to everybody who subscribed and commented, liked my channel. As always, I'm going to do my little intro blurb. Everything I talk about today is I provided links, and they are in like below the video. There's comments or a description of the video, and in that I provide links to anything I talk about. There's also links to my Etsy page, the Instagram account for Morning Glory Needleworks, which is MG Needleworks, the Stitch of the Month Facebook group, which I hope you will join, the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page. There's a link to buy me a coffee, and bio.link, which is kind of, if you go there, it kind of has links to everything else, plus anything else I talk about. And I do provide, or I do break my videos into what are called chapters. So if you go down in there, there'll be a chapter. It'll say like life update, a stitch a day, whatever I'm talking about. And there'll be a time next to it, like 8 minutes and 37 seconds. So you just click on that time and it will take you right to that section of the video. So if there's just something you want to see or watch again, especially if I'm doing Stitch of the Month or something like that, then you can get right to it. So with all that intro stuff out of the way, it's the 15th of November, so let's get going. I got all sorts of fun things to talk about as usual. So again, you know, between me and Jeffrey, we've got a lot going on in our lives. I'd like to just give a little life update about what's going on. Today, Jeffrey had chemo today, so he was there about 3 hours, and I sat and read while I waited. And then sometimes I've been taking needlework. I usually bring my headphones and listen to an audiobook, but I forgot my headphones. So I usually listen to a book and then stitch, but because I didn't bring my headphones, I decided just to read. So I'm reading the second book after the Terminal List, which was a series on, I don't know what it was, on Netflix or something. Anyway, so that was what I did most of the day, or a lot of the day today, because we were there about 3 hours. But meanwhile, on the way home, we stopped to get gas, and I went to put the windows down, and the driver's side window in Jeffrey's van fell into the door. So that sucks. So anyway, Jeffrey wanted to try and fix it ourselves. It's not going to happen. He had just had chemo, so he's not in any shape, and I don't want to mess with it. So a neighbor suggested or told me about, there's some mobile window repair companies that come right to your house, so I don't even have to drive it anywhere. So they are going to come and put in and fix it. They don't have to replace the window, but there's some kind of gears, and it's not cheap, but I don't care. I don't want to mess with it. So another fun thing going on, and another frustrating thing going on. In my last FlossTube, I talked about I'd ordered new shelves, kind of like these back behind me. These are IKEA, but I got cheaper ones. And I ordered them, and they came. I was so excited. I pulled them out of the box, and the box, of course, was damaged. Looks like somebody put a forklift fork through one end of the box. So one of the pieces that's the top and the bottom, or the bottom, had a big puncture hole in it. So I called them. I didn't want to, thank God you don't have to return to the store, because the thing weighed literally 80 pounds, the box. I had a heck of a time even getting it in the door by myself. I just kind of flopped it in and slid it in the house. I called, there's a number on there, and I called. The girl was very nice. It was even somebody in the United States. I was thrilled. I get very frustrated when I call, and then you know, you can't understand them. But she immediately filled out a form and sent me out a new piece. So I was so excited. I got the piece, and I got out of the box and they shipped the wrong piece. So I made another phone call, and anyway, I got the same woman on the phone, very nice. She apologized. She had it in there right. I needed part A. They sent me part C. Not real close. But anyway, so they're supposed to be shipping me a new part. Hopefully, I'm hoping they get it to me in the next day or two, because I'm leaving Thursday for a retreat. And if that comes, I don't know if Jeffrey's going to be able to get that big box off the porch, because it's literally at least 5 feet long. The piece is huge. It's the entire width, just like this, of the shelving. So it's 5 feet long, and that's about this deep, and it's awkward. It's not real heavy, but remember, he has a prosthesis and he walks with a walker. So I'm hoping it gets here in the next day or two. She promised me it would. So we'll see. I had asked him to send it quickly. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to be going to a retreat next weekend. I'm so excited. This is the Sunshine State Stitchers Treasure Coast Retreat. It's in Port St. Lucie, Florida, which I've never been to Port St. Lucie before. It was actually scheduled for last weekend, so I'd planned on talking about it during this video. That I thought that would be a fun thing to talk about, because we always have a good time and get goodies and that kind of stuff. But then last weekend, most of you probably know, Hurricane Nicole came through and kind of went right over kind of where we were going, where the retreat is supposed to be. So Ann Williamson, who runs the retreat, did a lot of work. She was trying to move it a couple months out, but they wouldn't honor usually we get discounted rooms. We stay at the hotel, and they wouldn't honor the rate she got us. So she got it moved to next weekend, which is good. So next weekend is actually fine. Luckily for me, some people can't go, but unfortunately, so we're hoping we can get some other people. Anyway, so in the next FlossTube video, I will be able to talk about the retreat, because there's no hurricane coming. Actually, the weather's been pretty lovely here. It's almost cool. I'm going to have to get out. It's actually supposed to be a low in the 40s later this week. So I'm going to have to get out my winter hoodie that I wear. So anyway, you'll hear all about that retreat in the next video. So now I'm going to move on to, that was enough fun that we had. A stitch a day. My new pattern, I talked about this last time. It is in my store. It's in the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop. Again, there's a link in the below, and you can see it up close. See all the fun stitches that are in there. Now these are it's 365 stitches, variations, combinations of stitches. So every day you can sit down and do a different stitch. So there's each outline is a stitch, and then the center is a different stitch. So each one of these squares is 2 days. And then there's some other stuff down in here. So, and each block is 16 threads wide and tall, 16 threads square, I should say, and the center is 8 threads. So it's a lot of fun. And the pattern, I got it all printed. It's also available in digital download if you want to download it that way, or you can purchase the pattern. Here's the cover and the back, all the different threads. I gave you the sulky colors I used, and then a comparable DMC substitute, and it is 42 pages. So there's a lot of, there's 10 stitches on every page, plus the chart, plus some instructions, different descriptions, the colors used, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of information in here. So I also created a Facebook stitch along group called A Stitch a Day, a year in stitches. And you don't have to buy the chart to join the group. If you want to just join and follow along and see everybody's progress. And the fun thing is you can start this any day. The stitches are numbered 1 through 365. So if you want to start it next week, tomorrow, you can start it. It's almost the beginning of the new year. So I know some people that have bought it already are going to start it on the first of the year. And so that was originally how I was going to do it. But then I thought, well, then people aren't going to want to buy it in the middle of the year. But you can start it whenever you want. So, and just stitch along. But I did put the link to the new Stitch a Day Facebook group. And again, you don't have to purchase. You do have to answer. There's like 2 questions that you need to answer. No big deal. But I don't want to get any bots or anything in our group. So it's going to be fun to see everybody's progress. So I'm hoping you'll check it out. Again, go to my Etsy shop and check it out. And I hope you enjoy. I'm so excited. I've been thinking about this for a while. So this is kind of a fun project. I hope you enjoy it. So I just wanted to talk about, I mentioned a few videos ago about salt cellars, using salt cellars for pincushions. And I took them to the last retreat I went to and sold a ton of them. I didn't even know how many I had because I bought somebody's collection. And I think I sold 60 of them. So needless to say, I had to quickly replace all of everything I'd sold. So I started searching around and found a bunch of them. So I thought I would share some of them with you and kind of show how I'm using them for pincushions and then give you some other ideas. I've got a few other little things. I think they're master salts, and I'll talk about those when I get to them. But I just kind of wanted to show you what I have and what I found because they're kind of fun. So most of them are crystal. They're not crystal. They're glass. They're what do they call EAPG usually, which is EAPG is early American pressed glass. So they're heated and pressed. They're not blown glass or anything. That's how most of them are made. There's a few, I think I've sold them already. I've already sold a few of these that are actually cut glass where they're smooth and then they, do little designs into it. But these I think are just pressed glass. This one's kind of pretty. It's a little bit different. It's a little deeper. So this is one of them. This is a real typical one here. It's got a little design. The glass is kind of worn, but it's very pretty. I had quite a few of these, but I sold them. I have a larger, actually I sold both of them, but I had one that was just like this, only it was a little bit larger. So that's fun. This is a very typical one. Little pressed glass, and it's got the little design in the bottom. Now this one's smooth. It may be a little more modern one. And what they did is they put salt in these on the table. They didn't have shakers, or they didn't use shakers. They had these little salt cellars, and they would put them around the table with salt in them. And then they usually had a little tiny spoon, and you could just shake or, sprinkle salt over your food. So this is a really pretty one. Kind of hard to see, but that one's more smooth. Now this set is fun. I only have 3. There should be 4. There's a heart and a club and a diamond, and I'm missing the spade. So most of you can figure out these are cards, like for bridge, or any card deck. These are the cards, the clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds off of playing cards. So that's a fun one. This one's really pretty. It's different. It's oblong. So, and I wanted to show how I do. I bought a bunch of these, they're felt balls, wool felt balls. And I got them off of Amazon. You can get them all over. And what I do is I put one of these little balls in here. Now, what you might, but this one doesn't fit real tight in here. So you could put a little bit of glue or something. I don't know. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm not sure how well it's going to hold it in there. When I sold them at the last retreat, I brought some glue, and a couple people put a blob of glue in the bottom because it kept sliding around. You can see it fits in that one really nicely. And I have one that's kind of oblong, and I put 2 of these balls in there side by side. I think this one, I don't think 2 will fit in that one, but you know, there's all sorts of things you can do on the insides of these. Make a little puff with some wool batting and fabric, and just do that. And then here's another kind of different shaped one. This one's really pretty. Oh, this one has, I don't know if you can see on the sides, there you go, a little bit. You can see the, actually has they're etched glass on the, oh, there you go. You can see the etched daisy on the side of that one. So that's a pretty one. That one already. Okay. And then I have these. I have quite a variety this time. Last time I had mostly just glass ones, and I have so many of them. This one I probably have 9 or 10 of. This one I had 9 of, and I think I'm down to 2 because I've already sold them. So some of them I have quite a few of, others I have just 1. Now these I have just 1 each. Aren't these beautiful? They're blue and red glass, just plain, but they're really, really lovely. I don't know if now you couldn't fit 2 balls in there. I was trying to think if you could fit 2 in there, but they're very pretty. You could even put a magnet in there and just lay your pins and needles in it to hold it in place. Now I've got some that are a little more fancy. They're different. And I got a whole lot, like a whole, I think there was 27 different pieces in it. I bought like 3 or 4 different lots. And this one had 27 different pieces. And some of them are real. I didn't realize how big they were. They probably said in the picture, but you know. So this one is kind of different. It's short and flat. It says Germany on it. It's got a number on it. So it obviously was made in Germany. But these are, I have 2 of these. These are kind of fun, different shapes. This one is really pretty. It's on like a black, has black glass on the bottom. And then that kind of, I think it's clear and then black, and it kind of fades into it. And it's got a very pretty design on it. I don't know why. I wonder if it had a lid, because this edge is bumpy. You can see the difference in the edges. This edge, I mean, they've got like a sawtooth border, but this edge has more borders. So it may have had a lid or something at one time. Of course, I didn't get a lid with it. I'm going to show you all the small ones first. And this one is really pretty. This has sterling silver laid on it. It's a design, and it has sterling silver on it. It's very plain, but it's got this beautiful sterling silver design on it. And speaking of silver, this one is actually, it's silver plate, but it's very pretty. I haven't polished it up. It is marked on the bottom. I don't know what it says. But it says it's silver plate on the bottom. So there's that one. It's cute little, almost cauldron looking. It would have been good for winter. I mean, Halloween. Put the little ball in it. And this one is very pretty. This is Noritake. It's made in Japan. It's hand painted. It probably came out of a whole set. Just really pretty. Make a nice, sweet little pin cushion. I love this one. I may keep this one for myself just because it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty with the bird on it? And then there's trying to get it so you can see it. It's very shiny, iridescent. It's got a flower in the bottom of it. It's hard to see with all the light there. You can kind of see the flower there, and then the pretty bird. And this one is was made in Japan also, but it's the same like iridescent. I just can't get that flower to show. Oh, there we go. There, you see the flower in the bottom. It's really pretty. I would hate to put anything in it. Said, I don't know if you could put a magnet on the bottom and just throw your pins in there. And now I'm going to show you some that are a little bit bigger. But one thing I want to show here is I have this cute little one. It has little legs. I have a few of these. Has little legs on it. And here's a big giant one. This one is a master. These are salt cellars. And then this is what is called a master salt, where they would fill that with salt, and then you could fill your little salt cellars from the master salt. But it came in one of the collections I got. So that one's kind of fun that they go together. And then I have these. I don't know if these are really salt cellars, but I'm going to sell them as pin cushions. They're or to use for pin cushions. They're very pretty, or you can use them for whatever you want. Might be nice to just, again, set them to the side, maybe put a magnet in them, and you can just throw your pins and your needles in there. And I have two of those. These are really pretty. I have 3 of these. These are like almost I can't remember what this is called, caramel glass, maybe. They're very pretty. It's a little iridescent. It's kind of like carnival glass, but it's kind of a caramely color. I don't know. And it's faded, opalescent. It's not real opalescent, but it's got the little star in the bottom. This is like a hobnail edging on it. And I have 3 of these, and then I have a white one. This is milk glass that matches it. Now this is iridescent, kind of iridescent. It's not see-through like the other one is, but there is still a star on the bottom with the hobnail. And again, it's a little bit iridescent. So I've been just having fun because I bought all these and they shipped them to me, and I got all these boxes of these, and I was just having oohing and eyeing as I pulled them out of the boxes and unwrapped them. And this is a nice, I don't know if this is a salt or not, but it's a very nice, pretty, it would make a lovely pin cushion if you just filled it, took some fabric and made like a pillow that would fit in here. It's just a clear pressed glass piece. So that one's fun. Then I got, like I said, I didn't realize these were as big as they are when I got them. Oh, I got one more over here, but I don't know if they're master salts or what. It doesn't say, but I think they would be beautiful as a pin cushion also, or even an Ort keeper. Trying to read what it says. Oh, this says Hotel Astor on it. So these are from the Astor Hotel. I think I have, it is Theodore Pereland, Limoges, France. So it was made special for L. Strauss and Sons in New York, is what it says on the bottom. But they're very pretty. So these were, obviously at a hotel, and probably were at the tables there. Here's another one, very similar. Somebody collected these that are shaped like this. This one is Frankenmuth, and it says Saxony on it. It's very pretty, a really pretty design on it. How pretty would it be to have these sitting around and just throw your orts into them? And this one's really lovely also. It's got roses on both sides and buds on the ends. It's just white. And then on the bottom, this one says Bone China, Hammersby and Company, and this is made in England. So just all the fun little things you can do. I have 2 of these, very pretty floral design on it. Again, they're just white. This one, Lamberton, made expressly for Waldorf Astoria, made in the USA. Oh, and the edge on it is sterling. Looks gold to me, but it says, maybe it's just Lamberton Sterling. Maybe that's the name of the company. But anyway, those are, I have two of those that are really pretty. This one is also lovely, lovely, lovely. And I love it because it has a little like handle on it. I don't even know if you could, it'd be very hard to pick it up with that handle, but it's got beautiful, these are hand painted flowers. This is not a print. These were hand painted on here. You can actually feel the paint on it. And you can't see it. The light in here is not right for this, but there's a texture to it. But you can see the beautiful flowers. This one is not marked at all. And then it's pink on the inside. And one more. This one, I love this one. It's just really pretty, really rich looking. I don't know how it's going to look in the video, but on my screen it looks white, but it's a very deep cream color. And this one is trying to read what it, Bursley Ware in England. So this was made in England. Like I said, I'm not sure what these are made for, if they are salts, but they came with all the salts that I bought. So I'm assuming maybe these are master salts, but I just wanted to share all the different salt types of salt cellars. And I wanted you to see how you can make them into little pin cushions. I know some friends, I found them in antique stores and stuff. Sometimes you can buy a lot of them. Sometimes you can only find one. I know last time we went to this whole huge flea market and I found one in the whole flea market, but I found all these, some I picked up at another show I went to. But like I said, these are felted wool balls. They're 1 inch. You can get bigger ones, you can get smaller ones. I got the 1 inch. They were kind of the closest size. Some fit better than others. They have a bunch, you can get them in all sorts of colors. I just got a variety of colors and I buy them in, this is, well, there's probably about 80 of them left in here because I sell them with the salt cellar. You get a wool ball with it if you see me at a retreat somewhere, if I have them, because they go pretty quick, obviously, but I buy them in bags of 50 and I don't remember how much they are, but so I bought 2 bags of 50 because last time I ran out. So that is my fun salt cellars. I just wanted to share them with you to show you if you're looking around somewhere and you see something, you know, a little glass bowl or something, and you can do something fun with it. You could also, like I said, you can make just take a little round thing of fabric, based around the edge of it, pull it up into a ball, stuff it with felted wool or a cotton ball or whatever you want. Felted wool is the best, or wool, God, I can't remember what the word is now. It's just the loose wool. You can buy it a lot now because a lot of people are making felted wool creatures. I mean, I've bought it at Michael's even. So wool roving, that's what it is. My brain just woke up. So anyway, that was just something fun and different. They're technically not needlework related, but hey, we can relate anything to needlework that we want. So now I want to talk about, as my final thing, this is going to be short and sweet this time. I wanted to talk about an antique sampler. That's what I do. I'm so excited. I just bought another antique sampler. Don't tell Jeffrey. He doesn't care. But I have to send her a check and then it will be in the mail shortly here. And hopefully at the next video, I can talk about it. It's got a really nice verse on it and some other fun stuff. So I'm excited about that. I just have to remember to send her a check because I forgot today. So I'm going to go to PowerPoint again, so I can show you up close and not just try and hold the sampler up and point stuff out. And that way you can see close-up pictures of it. And I can tell you the story of it, or at least the little bit of story I know about this sampler. Okay, now this sampler was stitched by Ann Jackson in 1765. It's much lovelier than this picture. It's hard to get very good pictures of samplers, especially when they're behind glass. So Ann stitched this sampler on a very fine linen. It's 52 horizontal threads per inch and 60 vertical threads per inch. Older samplers were often stitched on an uneven weave, and she stitched the sampler in several shades of silk thread. So, and the large alphabet at the top was stitched using tiny eyelet stitches, and you can see a sweet stag toward the bottom of the sampler. I think I have a close-up of it later. So, and stitched this lovely poem on each side of the sampler. And I was lucky when I bought the sampler, the gentleman I bought it from, I got it at the Reniger's Antique Mall in Mount Dora. And he had actually typed up the poem that is on here. So it says, when snows descend and robe the fields in winter's bright array, touched by sun, the luster fades and weeps itself away. When spring appears, when violets blow and shed a rich perfume, how soon the fragrance breathes its last, how short-lived is the bloom. Fresh in the morn, the summer rose hangs withered ere 'tis noon. We scarce enjoy the balmy gift, but mourn the pleasures gone. With gliding fire and evening star streaks the autumnal skies. Shook from the seat, it darts away and in an instant dies. That's kind of sad, actually, when you think about it. Everything's dying and fading and all that. But that's very typical of samplers. So with some help from Mr. Google, I actually found this poem in the September 1748 issue of the Gentleman's Magazine. So here's a copy of the cover of the magazine, and there is the poem. Now you can see there's a couple other verses also. There's actually one verse at the end that says, such are the charms that flush the cheek and sparkle in the eye. So from the face divinely fair, the transient graces fly. So I thought that was really fun. So, and another interesting thing about this sampler is it was actually sewn together. So the width of the loom may have only been a certain size, but you can see there's a seam right down the center of the sampler, and she actually stitched over top of the seam right above. You can see her last name here, Jackson, the year 1765. And above it, you can see she's actually cross-stitched right over top of this seam in the linen. So here you can see how fine the stitching is. It's, what did I say? It was 50, oh geez, I lost my page. There it is, 52 horizontal threads per inch and 60 vertical threads per inch. But you can see by the ruler, this is the alphabet at the top of the sampler. You can see how tiny these eyelet stitches are. And just think, she did that without magnification or your big light or whatever kind of light you use, your daylight. So, but this is the sampler for this time. And on the left, you can see it looks like she did a little bit of almost like a Florentine stitch there, but you can see how tiny, these stitches are. So that is Ann Jackson's 1765 sampler. So that's it for FlossTube 22. Like I said, short, sweet. I just wanted to get this out. And we've had a lot going on here, so I haven't had time to really dig into anything. But I just thank you for watching. As always, it always thrills me to see how many people are watching and commenting and sharing my videos. So please comment, subscribe so you know when the next video is coming out, because the next one will have a new stitch of the month. So you've got that to look forward. And of course, join the Stitch a Day group, join the Stitch of the Month group. Let me know what stitches you'd like to learn. I'm always looking for new stitches. I just happen to have 365 of them here. I took a few, I've taught a few from here, but from this sampler, but or from this design. So I can always use a few more. So I always I like suggestions. So, and as a reminder, all links on the YouTube page for this FlossTube they're posted, and I will see you on the 1st with a new stitch of the month, and who knows what else. Oh, I'll talk about the retreat, the upcoming retreat for next weekend, which I have to start packing for. So anyway, thank you again for watching, and I will see you soon.